see that we have gone live, but I think just 2 minutes more, we'll continue our discussion and then. Oh, okay. So we are live now. So मेरा ख्याल में formal तारुफ करवा देते हैं जी. So अस्सलाम वालेकुम. मेरा नाम है जी Saleem Rehman, and on behalf of Noor International University, I'd like to welcome you to today's session of the live sessions for Noor International University, where we are welcoming Miss Sabeeh Qayyum. Sabeeh, welcome and assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. So हम सीधा जी will launch into our program. थोड़ा सा हम delayed थे. My apologies. I think we were having some IT issues in going live, but we are live now. तो आज का हमारा session थोड़ा सा different है than most others. We are going to be having an informative session with Ms. Sabeeh today, on behalf of Innovative Research Universities. So मैं सीधा Sabeeh का तारुफ करवाता हूँ. Ms. Sabeeh Qayyum's journey with Innovative Research Universities, IRU Australia, began 3.5 years back. She's an Australian alumnus, as well as the Australia Awards Scholarship holder, formerly known as the AusAid Scholarships. She completed a Master's in Counselling from Monash University in Melbourne, Australia. Her professional career spans over 20 years, and majority of it consists of working within the education sector in Pakistan, being based in Lahore under various capacities, such as education counselor of the RMT enterprise and educational consultancy, teacher at BZU, Bahauddin Zakria University and Grace College of Business Studies, manager career advising at the Beacon House School System, and most recently as the rector of local higher education institute, which was the Ali Institute of Education. She is currently the country director of Pakistan for IRU, Innovative Research Universities, and today's objectives, she has the following two goals, which is to establish a strong presence of IRU through creating awareness, engagement, and profile building in Pakistan, and number 2, to develop opportunities for institutional partnerships and strong research-based linkages for IRU members within the education sector of Pakistan. So, Sabeeh, without further ado, मैं थोड़ा सा आपको देता हूँ over to you for the mic. कि आप थोड़ा सा बताएं IRU के बारे में, अपने बारे में, and flesh out a little bit more for us कि what it means for us as Noor International University and हमारे students के लिए वो क्या opportunities extract कर सकते हैं. तो brief अगर background IRU के बारे में बता दें. Then we'll go here.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you so much, Saleem, first of all, for inviting me for this session. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here today. I'd like to just briefly touch upon IRU as a group. It's basically a group of 8 Australian universities spread out in 8 corners of Australia. So if some of you might be familiar with the map of Australia, so we start from the north, which is Darwin. So we have Charles Darwin University in Darwin. It's a regional town. Then we have 2 campuses of James Cook University, one in Townsville, one in Cairns. Then we come down towards the east of Australia. I'm sure everybody's familiar about the Gold Coast. So Griffith University is one of the famous universities that is in this group, and it's spread out over the Gold Coast. Then we come down to Sydney. We have Western Sydney University in Sydney, and then if we come down to Melbourne, we have La Trobe University there. Then in the south, we have in Adelaide, we have Flinders University. We also in Canberra, we have University of Canberra. Now, recently, a member which has recently joined us, joined the group. And then the last but not the least is the Murdoch University in west of Australia, which is Perth. So this is location-wise, I've given you a brief idea about where the universities are placed. And just to touch upon IRU, it's one of the groups in Australia. I'm sure most of the people are aware of the group of 8 universities and Australian Technical Network. So the third group that is famous or well known in Australia is the Innovative Research Universities. The main purpose of this group of universities is to work together, collaborate, not only for the benefit of bringing research and collaborating on various projects for the betterment of the local community, which is Australia and the regional areas, but they're also very highly engaged and interested to pursue partnerships and collaborations on the international level as well. Thus, me coming in that I was hired 3.5 years back by IRU to experiment in the market of Pakistan, just to understand what it is, how we can benefit, and how we can give benefit to Pakistan as a collaborating partner. So this is, in a nutshell, this is what IRU is all about. And I've given you the list of universities that are there as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sabeeh, for giving us a brief overview. तो अभी तक any success stories, Sabeeh, in Pakistan जिसके बाद जो आप share कर सकती हैं, so that we can get a better understanding कि किस तरह के projects आपने in the past किए हैं, and then that we can help tailor our conversation around how we can potentially work together.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I'd just like to mention that, in the initial first year, it was sort of an experimentation that we were doing here in Pakistan, because there is no other in-country representative of IRU in any other country. Pakistan and I were the pioneers for this role. So I'm very privileged to be, in this position. Secondly, what I would like to mention is that once we started and looked at what are the opportunities, could be available in Pakistan. So because the group is based on universities, and they are all public funded universities in Australia. So the opportunities that we get, or the welcome that we got, was more from the university sector rather than any other sector in Pakistan. So we, first of all, we developed and, looked into the network that we already had in Pakistan based on my experience and profile, and my presence being here in Pakistan for so many years in the education sector. And slowly and steadily, we started developing some, meetings and linkages between, among the IIU members as well as from Pakistani universities here. So as far as the success stories, the list is long. I would just touch upon a few examples so that the students and the faculty who is our audience today can understand what IIU has been able to do. So the first of all, the thing was that we wanted to develop an image and the branding of the company in Pakistan so that people would get to know what IIU is all about, who are the members and what are the opportunities that are available there. Not only for students, but also for faculty, for, company to company or organization to organization linkages. So Alhamdulillah, till now, we have, of course, signed a few MOUs, which is a general document between two partners that they agree to, work on certain list of areas that they want to work on. And then particularly, if you would ask me to give you some names, we have been successfully able to develop some degree articulations with Pakistani universities like Rifa International and UMT, which is University of Management Technology. With reference to the names of IIU, we have a long list, like Western Sydney University has been very proactive. We have Flinders University, which is on the verge of signing a very interesting MOU with Bahria University in Pakistan. And this is not only campus-based exclusive, partnerships. We've tried to develop partnerships with those organizations or universities here in Pakistan, which have multiple campuses in Pakistan in different cities, so that we can reach out to maximum students and faculty for development, not only to study a master's or an undergraduate degree, but also, as you mentioned, faculty to faculty exchange or different other areas. The most successful thing that I would like to mention is because fortunately or unfortunately, while I was working with IIU, COVID came in. So everything went online and, everything became virtual. That was sort of proved fortunate for us in the sense that the universities had the time to concentrate on developing and connecting with people in Pakistan, eventually through webinars and through virtual events. So we have successfully conducted webinars from the academics from these universities among the IIU group, and they have conducted webinars for Iqra University students, for AIR universities, for Bahria University, and the list goes on. So this has actually, what happened is after these events, it opened a lot of other doors for, those universities to start talking and having a conversation about various other areas where they can develop their collaborations. So thank you.
Thank you, Sabeeh, for sharing some of the areas. जो again मेरे जहन में some of the things that for example come to mind, and अगर आप थोड़ा सा इस पे light shed कर सकें, that Australia is heavy into farming. For example, हमारा बहुत सारा dairy sector Australian cows की orientation पे है. Anything in particular that you could have? I know agri life sciences के ऊपर काफी हमारा New International University में stress है. That's something that we'd like to build upon. There is the whole medical and health oriented arena जिसके ऊपर हम focus कर सकते हैं. Anything that comes to mind from that side that जिसको आप stress कर सकती हैं? I know, for example, La Trobe University focuses on hospitality as one area of focus. So again, हम healthcare में hospitality का एक बहुत बड़ा scope है on service orientation. Can you help flesh out some things that come to mind in terms of projects or opportunities that we could use either for research or short-term research or even cross-pollination of academics?
Yeah, I think, Saleem, this is a really important area which we should highlight. So first of all, I like to comment that Australia is very well known for certain, subject areas in which agriculture is definitely on the forefront. I would like to mention that not only agriculture, but hospitality, as you mentioned, and tourism. Then they have environmental management. They have, what they're famous for. So I'm talking with reference of innovative research universities, the research, the projects that they've been doing in Australia and abroad. So for example, I can easily tell you that Griffith University has an institute which is based on river. It's a river institute, and they do research on that subject area. They have amazing infrastructure. They have the public funding from the government to do the research with reference to environment. Disaster management is one of the areas of one of the IIU members, Charles Darwin University. I mean, there is a huge list of areas that I can easily quote. And yes, with regards to Noor International, as you said, that agriculture or medicine or healthcare, definitely, I can easily name a few universities like Flinders University. They have a campus, a hospital on campus in which they train their students. They not only teach them, they train their students for nursing or healthcare opportunities for whichever students are interested to pursue. So just giving you an example, the facilities, the opportunities are tremendous, not only for students to go and study there, but of course for the universities here in Pakistan, especially like a younger university like Noor International, should be able to, set up some sort of a collaboration with maybe more than one IIU member in the future.
बिल्कुल ठीक है. Thank you. I think this sounds very exciting. अगर तो हमें इस तरह की opportunity दी जाए for best in class options that can be there for collaborating on an organization or a higher education to higher education level. Plus, of course, जो hospital है उसके अंदर भी I think best practices का जो scope है that could be tremendous. थोड़ा सा बताइए Sabeeh about obviously as our undergrad students go on for graduate studies. हमारा interest भी है, we provide certain relatively small set of graduate programs, but what could be graduate program opportunities जो कि हमारे students हासिल कर सकते हैं या जिसमें दाखला ले सकते हैं? Could you elaborate a little bit on the on the IRU members which you think could be relevant for our students?
Sure. So, Saleem, I'll divide this question in two sections, actually. One is a list of subject areas that are available among the IIU university members, ranging from generally the umbrella subjects are business, engineering, computing, that's available. Medicine, again, is a tremendous umbrella subject that is available. There are multiple branches of these subject areas in which students can not only, do a single or major subject, they can take minors and do multiple, subjects in that. Then if we talk about specific subject areas under these, umbrella subjects. So I would like to mention that there are some fields which are very popular in Australia and in which there are a lot of career opportunities as well, not only for the Australian students, but also for international students as well. So I'll comment a little bit on that as well. So initially, I'll talk about the subjects like there is artificial intelligence, they have cyber security, data analysis. Of course, as we talked, there's a lot of scope in health sciences, nursing, psychology. So there's a range from science subjects to the social subjects, and the list goes on. Of course, hospitality and tourism, and as I mentioned, disaster management, because the last couple of years, the bushfires have been on the rise, and there is a lot of research being conducted in Australia with regards to the global warming that has taken place. Even there, the coral reef and the famous areas have been affected. So that is one thing. Then with reference to the career opportunities, or what I would suggest, or I would like to mention, is that what is the difference between the education in Pakistan and Australia. Not to say that Pakistan education is lesser comparatively, not at all. But I would like to mention that the difference that the students find, whether they go for a graduate or a postgraduate degree, is that most of the universities in Australia offer work integrated learning programs. So the student goes there to study and gets an opportunity to work as well, which is included in their coursework, in the degree that they are planning to study there. Secondly, a very important aspect is that maybe that is something that is lacking in Pakistani education sector, is that the education providers in Australia are heavily linked with the industry. So I can easily give you an example of a couple of universities like Murdoch and the Western Sydney University. So I've been to the campus myself, and in the building which offers the business courses, they have a couple of floors which have been rented to different companies in Australia. And students who are studying there during their business programs can easily get internships and later on job opportunities with those companies based on the feedback and the interaction with the industry that the academia has in Australia. So that is something that I really wanted to highlight.
Fantastic. नहीं आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि जी yes the our education system in general जो industry academia का linkage है वो बहुत एक infancy के stage पे, and at NIU we pride ourselves क्योंकि अभी तक हमारी specialty healthcare oriented या healthcare peripheral degrees में रही है. As we grow and flesh out the university तो general education में भी ज़्यादा आ रहे हैं. That being said, ये जो focus with the industry and academia collaboration, that's very necessary ताकि आपकी जो degree है वो professionally aligned ho. They are the skills that you are imparting are professionally aligned. And the दुनिया इतनी तेजी से बदल रही है कि जिस आपने कुछ artificial intelligence की बात की, algorithms की बात की, even health sciences की बात की, cutting edge को लाने के लिए there are certain skills which need a constant feedback mechanism for industry to go forward. Career opportunities wise, Sabeeh थोड़ा सा बताइए. आपने कुछ I think in passing mention तो किया, but let's say graduate degree and onwards, career opportunities को access करने के लिए what could be an easy way potentially for our students? Of course, undergrad को से फारिग होके going into grad school means more investment, and the student definitely thinks he or she thinks कि जी return on investment के लिए how will that work? थोड़ा सा अगर in broad strokes, what could be a graduate degree look like for you, or maybe an exchange program, or maybe a transfer program of some sort of that exists. Okay. And then in the second stage, अगर थोड़ा सा career opportunities के बारे में बताइए कि what could be available to them. Should they choose?
Sure. Sure. So with reference to some of the partnerships that have been developed in Pakistan, Saleem, some of the Pakistani universities have been successfully agreed to developing a degree articulation. So by degree articulation, what we mean is that a student in Pakistan, of course, between those two partner universities, one is Pakistani university, one is the IIU member university. So what they do is they decide and agree, okay, for example, in computer sciences, we are offering these degrees, like 2 or 3 different variations of the degree programs. And the Pakistani university, which is offering that course here in Pakistan, will map out their degree with the university among the university group. One of the groups. So I can take an example of Rifa International University and Western Sydney University, which has actually taken place. So the student will study first 2 years of that degree program, of course, giving the university what the local fee is, and they will study that, and they have an option then to apply and transfer their credits and enter into the second year of the program at Western Sydney University. So they complete 2 years, which is the second year and the third year at Western Sydney University. So I'm just quoting an example. Once they do that, they are eligible, number one, for a post-study work visa, which is in different cities is different. Like in the regions, there is a difference. Some offer 1 or 2 years, some even offer between 3 to 4 years. So the policies have changed recently in Australia. They're encouraging international students to come and study there, number one. And then the other thing that I wanted to comment was that all universities in Australia, not only the IIU members, most of the universities have a brilliant setup of support for the students, especially the international students. So they take you through the whole process. If you like go for a placement during your degree program, they'll help you get a placement or an internship. After that, if you're interested to stay and study, stay and work, they will guide you with starting from developing a resume, preparing for the interview, getting a job. They will help you to the best of their abilities and facilities that they have. And of course, it will depend if that, the course or the career field that you have chosen has opportunities there in Australia. I would say that not all, subject areas have multiple jobs available. There are selective areas.
ठीक है जी. And generally अगर देखा जाए in terms of career opportunities from a financial perspective, obviously that's something again जो return on investment is something that students think about. How do you feel on general landscape Australian situation क्या है from an economic standpoint and a financial standpoint? थोड़ा सा उसके बारे में guide कर सकते हैं?
Yeah, sure. I might sound that I'm siding with Australia, but logically, if we compare the exchange rate of the euro, of the pound, of the US dollar. So if you compare it with these currencies, the Australian dollar is the least that we have in Pakistani rupee. Okay, so number one is that point. Number two, just like UK, Australia also offers most of the time, majority of the degree programs are 3 years, not 4 years, like in the US. So there also the student is saving. Last but not the least, there are multiple scholarship and funding opportunities now available for Pakistani or any international student who is applying either for a graduate or a postgraduate program. So starting from 20% to maximum 75%. Of course, 50% and 75% are highly competitive. It is difficult to get those scholarships, but people do get it. That's not a problem. And most of the Australian universities, especially among the IIU, are offering a lot of scholarship opportunities, not fully funded, but some of them are giving opportunities. So that is also something that the students can avail. If they apply in time and they get the admission in time, they can apply for scholarships as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. एक audience का question है कि जी, can you highlight specific topics where IRU has worked with Pakistani universities, particularly in health-related fields? I know आपने touch upon थोड़ा सा किया था about let's say hospital, one university having a hospital attached to it and वहाँ पे training होती है. Nursing का थोड़ा सा आपने बताया. Physiotherapy, for example, and sports therapy are areas जहाँ पे I know Australia is very आउटडोर ओरिएंटेड एंड स्पोर्ट्स का बहुत ज्यादा रुझान है उस तरफ, बट कुछ इन ब्रॉड स्ट्रोक्स अगर आप मेडिकल फील्ड, हेल्थ फील्ड से रिलेटेड आपके जहन में कोई अपॉर्चुनिटीज आती हैं which have been executed upon by IRU, उसके बारे में आप बताइए.
So Saleem, what we did was in the last couple of years, we have tried to take some initiatives specifically with regards to health, sciences with a couple of universities in Pakistan. Now, there are a couple of challenges related to this. Number one, with reference to the medical or any degree, which is most of the time nursing, medical sciences is a very expensive degree compared to the fee that is being offered by those universities. So many students in Pakistan would not prefer to go for such a degree program because scholarships are highly unlikely that they can get for these programs, specifically medicine and nursing. However, we did try to develop some sort of a collaboration between a couple of universities from IIU and a couple of universities here in Pakistan. But because of the restrictions with regards to whatever that university is offering in Australia, it will be recognized in Pakistan. So it's a long and tedious process which has to be approved on both sides of the border. So Australian organizations need to approve this kind of an initiative which might be offered in Pakistan. And then, of course, Pakistan has to get a lot of authentication from HEC and the different bodies which authenticate these kind of degree programs. So with regards to health sciences, honestly speaking, we haven't been successful in achieving anything in the health sciences side.
Interesting. So definitely, I think Sabeeh, अगर हम इसको flesh out करें, I'm sure over a period of time, क्योंकि at Noor International University, other than the sister medical college and a nursing college, we have a wide array of allied health sciences, psychology. So counseling therapy could be opportunities we could explore. Psychology can there, of course, there's a whole realm of opportunity. Nutrition, which is let's say peripheral to core medicine and dentistry, perhaps. लेकिन वो definitely opportunities हैं जहाँ पे I'm sure we can come up with opportunities. Nursing के अंदर एक सवाल है कि जी nursing के careers कैसे हैं उधर. I know there's a global nursing shortage, on a global basis, so that's an opportunity that we could consider exploring. What is a career in nursing looking like in Australia? And of course, हमारा interest होगा to have best in class nursing education. So maybe even a cross border linkage for nursing tutors to be brought in on an exchange basis to Noor. And then uske upar any thoughts on nursing in particular?
Yes. I'm glad that somebody asked this question. I think during this whole duration of our interview or a chat, I've mentioned nursing quite a few times. So Saleem, nursing is one of the subject areas or the career fields that are highly sought after in Australia. And I'm only talking about Australia right now. In different parts of the world, yes, it is also a very a career or a field that is in high demand. Number one. Number two, I've attended a lot of webinars from those universities who are offering nursing programs among the IIU, and they have quoted that it is a highly paid career field in Australia. So, nothing like it. If somebody is able to successfully complete a degree program in Australia from the IIU members, I'm pretty sure that he or she will land up with a brilliant opportunity, at least at this time of the stage that we have in Australia. So this is a developing field and a well sought after, and they need skilled workers in this field. So yeah.
Fantastic. So Sabeeh, I'm sure there will be other questions जो कि I think ज़्यादा pointed आएंगे. So I'll encourage when we post this webinar on our Facebook, ज़रूर if you can take the opportunity to introduce IRU and what website and email address that potential students can reach out to, as well as those wanting to explore career opportunities. हमारा goal as a university is we want to give them the best in class opportunity and also propel them for being exported, but at the same time we also want to do Pakistan a service and make sure कि हमारे जो students हैं वो जो graduates हैं वो local best in class education भी लें, and then they are able to earn as much if not more than what they would want to earn abroad. Of course economic requirements and जो thought process हर किसी का फर्क होता है. We definitely don't want to hinder anybody, so अगर opportunity extract हो सकती है तो we would love to be able to facilitate that for our students.
Yes, Saleem, I would like to comment on this. This something that you said right now. I personally feel, and that's the reason why I have been living in Pakistan all my life and working here, is that I'm dedicated to contribute to the betterment of the society, despite of having gone on a scholarship to Australia, studied there, lived there. So there's always, you see, with an institute like yours, it's a young university. It's growing, it's developing. We can always look into, developing some sort of opportunities within particular subject areas where we can find, interested partners from among the IIU members and develop something for students here in Pakistan. Because I could see in the chat right now that somebody has commented that it's very expensive to go to Australia. It is, it's a huge investment money-wise. For a well-off student who has the financial background, it is an expensive, investment. So there are all sorts of opportunities that we can look into. And I just thought that I should highlight that not everybody needs to go to a country abroad and then get something. We can develop something in Pakistan as well. And as I said, with regards to the degree articulation, students can study half of the degree here and they can finish half of the degree there. So it's going to be exactly half the cost that is involved instead of a 3-year bachelor degree studying in Australia, they can do a half degree in Pakistan and Australia. So all sorts of opportunities are available. Thank you.
Bilkul ji. And I'm glad you also pointed out this element. Yes, I think foreign education can be expensive, like, and at the same time, generally, My sense is कि वो एक return on investment मिल जाता है, provided that आप अगर उधर चंद साल नौकरी करें तो generally that acceptability comes in the mind from economic perspective. That being said, आपकी दूसरी बात बिल्कुल बजा है कि as a young university हमारे पास एक benefit है that we don't have any baggage to overcome जब हम अपने programs को strengthen करना चाह रहे हैं, and our goal is that we have best in class medical and dental education. For example, we have a proven track record, which is probably the pinnacle of education in a highly regulated field. Similarly, हमारा goal ये है कि we leverage the strengths of partner universities, for example, that could come through IRU, and make sure कि हमारे जो local programs हम पढ़ा रहे हैं, their acceptability and their जो उनके standards हैं, they are as good, if not better, than universities that we can partner with, so that हम अपने students को opportunity दे that they could plug into a global job market. So I think सवाल आया कि how can we get connected with IRU? So after the session, definitely we will make sure कि on the Facebook page and on the underneath this particular webinar, our office student affairs will give the contact information for IRU so that हमारे students can benefit from
yes.
From our
so let me just comment on how students can contact me. So the participants can easily contact me when Miss Malia or the team here at Noor International will put up my contact details. I'll provide them with it. It's a cell number on which you can contact me through WhatsApp, ideally, because due to office hours, it's sometimes difficult to attend a call directly. So you can text me and get an appointment, and I can then help you out. Number 2, we have a website. Number 3, we have a Facebook and Instagram page on which we keep updating on a regular basis about different activities and events that we are doing. So there are a lot of ways that you can get in touch with us, but ideally the WhatsApp number that we will share, you can definitely contact me. Secondly, I work from home, so there's no office. I can give you session or whatever information you need through online, either Zoom meeting or phone calls. So I thought I should mention that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And it's been a wonderful session. I hope कि हमारे जो viewers थे वो उन्होंने benefit किया from our talk with Sabeeh. Sabeeh, before we leave, any parting words, any thoughts that come to your mind in terms of what you'd like to just throw out there to our students, to our faculty who are listening either live to us right now or who will listen to this talk at a later date? Any parting words?
Ji, definitely, Saleem. First of all, though, I would really appreciate this session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Don't want it to stop because we can go on and on about what we've been doing in IIU in Pakistan. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Noor International University. I'm grateful. And secondly, yes, there's something that is a thought that is very close to my heart, and I would like to convey that to your faculty, to your students, that always, I know it's difficult at times, but always try to follow what you want to do from your heart. I'm a living example sitting in front of you right now. You pave your path with time, with dedication, with hard work, with commitment. These are the main pillars of how you lead your life in this world. But always follow your heart, do what your heart enjoys, and that work will never feel like work for you. When you enjoy it, it's a way of life, then it's not work. So good luck to everybody. And it would be my pleasure if I can, contribute to the betterment of developing some sort of collaboration with Noor International University, not only on the professional level, but also on the personal level. So wonderful talking to you. And I hope that it was beneficial for your students, for your faculty, for the audience in general. Thank you, Saleem. Bahut shukriya.
Thank you very much, Sabeeh, for your time. I will 100% echo your sentiments कि अगर आप अपने career और अपने passion को align कर सकें, I think that the rest of your life will probably be a bed of roses. So, and with that, obviously, every day may not be the best day, but if you fall down, brush yourself off, get up again. It'll be a new beginning, inshallah. We must have faith in God as we continue our journey. So with that, Sabeeh, thank you again for the opportunity for us to look at IRU. Inshallah, I'm also contemplating on a few things that we can work on together. इसको भी हम strengthen करेंगे on a university to university level, and for our students today, जिन्होंने reach out करना है to IRU, to Sabeeh for career opportunities, for graduate further education opportunities. We'll look at that, and inshallah, looking forward to research opportunities and faculty opportunities for.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Looking forward to seeing you face to face then next time.
Inshallah. Thank you.
Okay, Saleem. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Allah Hafiz, everybody. Thank you. Goodbye.